Solakaka. That's a bit of a wacky name, isn't it? Never mind what kaka means in some languages, it does look like they are related to Eula, and I mean the last review that I did of that Eula keyboard, I genuinely quite liked it. If you haven't watched it, you can always do so via the link over here? Yeah, here. Anyway, yeah, they sent me their SM800 gaming mouse to check out, so let's do that, shall we? I'm not gonna lie, this is a really sexy looking mouse. You get the option of either white or black, but I chose white because, black is kinda boring. I'm more of a white person. It has that two-tone look that I really like, and the matte finishing feels pretty good to the touch. They've gone fancy in not just the top but the bottom as well, with this kinda butterfly winged shape looking cutout. They obviously cut away a lot of material to make the mouse lighter, but they also made it look really aesthetically pleasing in the process. Speaking of lighter, this mouse is light. It weighs similar to my Cooler Master MM731 at about 62 grams, although the official website puts it at about 56. If you'd like more grip on the mouse, or you just want a little bit more of a splash of color, they do include a bunch of grip tape in the box that changes the look of the mouse quite substantially to more of this circuit board matrixy sort of look, so you could tack those on, but I'm more of a purist, so I like it as it is. Inside the box is also a USB-C cable. It's not exactly one of those really light and resistance-less paracord cables, but it's not too bad. But yeah, I'm guessing that most people using this mouse are more interested in using it wirelessly, in which you can do so using the wireless dongle that slots under the mouse, or Bluetooth through the tap of the button beneath as well. A pretty big issue though is how loose the dongle is when kept beneath the mouse. There is pretty much no friction holding it in place, so if you just so much as lightly shake or flick the mouse, it'll easily fly off, making it extremely easy to misplace. Now let's get on to usage of the SM800. The one thing that I immediately noticed is movements and gliding not being as smooth as what I would expect. I have checked for any protective plastic films, I fell into that trap before, but no, there isn't any, so the mouse just has a little bit more resistance that I'm not used to, which I feel hinders a mouse this light from gliding around effortlessly, and I guess you could just replace them with skates of your own liking, but I would have really loved if they were just better out of the box. The left and right clicks are Gill GM 8.0 80 million micro switches, and characteristic of these switches, they're kinda heavy with a strong tactile click to them, which makes them more suited to FPS more than something like maybe RTS, but of course you could just get used to them. Side buttons are pretty comfortable and easy to reach, and the scroll wheel has nice distinct steps and feel pretty good, so no complaints there. I really like the profile of this mouse. It reminds me a little of the Logitech G703 or G Pro X Superlight, which I guess is a good thing if you like those mice. Works pretty well with my claw grip, but it's a subjective thing, your mileage may vary. Now the heart of the mouse is powered by a Pixar PAW3395 sensor that can go up to 26,000 CPI, 650 inches per second and 50 Gs of acceleration. The wireless connection via the dongle has a 1 kHz polling rate, but I found it to be pretty susceptible to occlusion. Even something like my knee coming in between the mouse and the receiver is capable of causing signal dropouts, so you'll want to make sure that the receiver has line of sight for the best connection performance. The good news is that no matter what surface I've used this mouse on, whether it's on a proper mousepad or just straight up marble or wood, it has never failed in tracking on that surface. Moving on to software, there is software for the mouse and you'll have to type out the link in the manual. I would have loved to see some sort of QR code for this, but again, not a deal breaker, just an annoyance. The software itself is pretty clean and simple to the point where I don't think I really need to talk about it much. I mean, just look at it and you'll pretty much figure out how to use it and where everything is. The mouse also has onboard memory, so your settings will follow you no matter which device you plug it into. I will, however, encourage you to turn off the RGB effects on the mouse itself. Yes, there are RGB lights on the front of the mouse, but I value battery life over effects like these, so I turned them off. Battery life seems to be pretty good because I only charged the mouse up once in the 2 to 3 weeks of receiving it. It'll also turn off after 10 minutes of inactivity, and moving the mouse around isn't enough to wake it up. You gotta press any one of the buttons to do so. I'll be testing the mouse with gaming on my current favorite game of the moment, Ready or Not. I set the sensitivity to 2000 CPI, and in normal movements the SM800 performed perfectly fine, but as soon as I needed to do any form of precision aiming, I found that there was a little bit of a dead zone before the mouse actually picked up any of my hand movements, which was pretty detrimental to the micro adjustments that I do when aiming. This is despite the fact that it uses the exact same sensor on the Gravastar Mercury M2 that I looked at recently, the Pixart PAW3395, and while that mouse was able to pick up my movements just fine, the SM800 just couldn't. It's a little bit of a deal breaker for me, but depending on how important that is to you, maybe you're a low sensitivity gamer, you may feel otherwise. I can definitely game on this mouse, but it would most definitely be holding me back from performing my best. Now at time of filming, the SM800 can be had for just about 178 ringgit, which is about $37.50 US. At the point at which the mouse was sent to me, it was going for 162 ringgit, so that's a bit of a price fluctuation there. This price point though puts it up against some very stiff competition, so that's definitely something to consider, especially given the performance. If you like the looks of the mouse, which I think you should because I think that it looks pretty good, or maybe you like something that it's lightweight, then yeah, I think this is a pretty good gaming mouse that you should consider. I don't think I've got anything much else to add here, but if you'd like to get one for yourself, as usual, I'll leave a link for it down in the description box below, so be sure to check it out if you're interested. As usual, like the video or share it if you find that you liked it, comment if you've got something that you'd like to add, and if you like my videos and want to see more, then maybe consider subscribing. My name is Yang the Tech Rodent, and I will see you guys in the next video.